Alright friends, we're finally in business. Turns out the front I/O that read as USB 3.1 I don't think was or had some kind of interfacing issue with my motherboard. Be quiet, case better not have that issue, but I was like troubleshooting forever trying to get the stutter on the new webcam to go away. And that wasn't working, so finally figured out the issue, and now we actually have like a full-on setup. So you can see my face, you can see my hands. Face is green screened onto the desk, so it's not taking up too much room. You can see everything that we're doing, and now we can actually start shooting some stuff. And come probably in a week and a half from now, my time, I will actually have a new desk and have dedicated space for doing this kind of thing. Until then, let's have some fun with an RM850x. So this is the power supply that we're going to be using for my new build. Note that it is white, it's on sale, and it's a Corsair. So Corsair is one of the top rated PSU suppliers around. They do use 100% all Japanese 105 degrees Celsius capacitors. So these things can go and go and go, and then they have a lot of safety measures built in. There's also, people with far more credentials than I have talked in depth about 80 plus gold, what it takes to meet that standard, and then how companies sometimes forget what that standard means. Corsair has not, to my knowledge, ever been one of those companies, so I really did want to go with something that was going to have high enough power delivery, but also something that I could trust going forward. So it is a girthy manual. Get some good size alignment going on there. That does have a lot of details in a lot of languages, but this is going to thank you in German if you turn to the right page. Not a whole ton of details in here, to be honest. So it is going to tell you about your power supply efficiency, fan noise curve, tell you what's all in here, tell you what more is in here. I don't know. Oh, this has like the 750 installing. Step 1, remove your existing power supply. Step 2, installing Corsair RMX. Make sure the power supply is AC power. I'm reading this upside down, so I feel a bit like a ninja. Cable is not connected. Don't have it plugged into the wall. Follow the directions in your chassis manual and install the power supply with the provided screws. The main 24-pin power cable has a detachable 4-pin mechanism in order to supply either a 24-pin or a 20-pin socket connector. If your motherboard has a 24-pin socket, you may connect the 24-pin main power to your motherboard. That's what we're going to be doing. If it's a 20, you can detach the 4-pin and then connect it. Then connect the 8-pin 12-volt cable to the motherboard. So you have the 24-pin and the 8-pin. We'll be attaching both of those. We'll be pulling out both those cables today. If your motherboard has an 8-pin 12-volt socket, connect the 8-pin cable directly to your motherboard. If your motherboard has a 4-pin socket, detach the 4-pin from the 8-pin cable and then plug it in. Oh, looks like there are actually some other ones. Connect peripherals. PCIe Express cables for motherboard. SATA cables for hard drives. Connect the peripheral cables to all of your devices in CD-ROM and DVD-ROM power sockets. It's a nice flashback for all of us. Connect the SATA cables to your SATA SSD. We might be doing one of those. I haven't decided. We'll have to see what goes on sale for Black Friday this year. But right now I'm just doing one 2 terabyte NVMe, and then I might be adding another NVMe. I might get like a Gen 3 2 terabyte. The price delta on SSDs, like SATA SSDs and NVMe's, is going down, and my motherboard does have 5 slots, notably 4 individual slots. 3 of those are run off the motherboard chipset, 1 directly from the CPU, so I'll be using a Gen 4 on the direct from CPU linkage. And then the other, at least I'll probably end up populating the other 3 slots at some point. But I don't have to do that right now, just when I start filling up the hard drives. 0 RPM mode. Pretty awesome that it has 0 RPM mode. So basically, like, if it's not providing too much power, it doesn't get too hot, the fan's not going to run. Make sure the cables are all tightly connected. Be sure to save any unused modular cables for future component additions. So yeah, we'll be connecting all of those as we install them. Just note that it all comes in here. Important information. 2 pages worth in English. Caution. Electrical shock. This product is designed for indoors use only. Do not use near water or high humidity environments. Don't stick things into it. Yeah, plug everything in where it's supposed to be plugged in. Alright, here's your base cable. Do like that they give white. It does come with white zip ties, so that's kind of nice. So I now have white and black zip ties. I bought some black zip ties at Micro Center. Probably be using those as well. Also has some included screws for mounting the PSU. And it also comes with a powered by Corsair little stamp here. I have to like hold this one to the right one. Powered by Corsair. If I whisper it, then it's kind of like ASMR a little bit, right? Now this bag is very important. I still have my old bag actually from my 650 RMX case. And this just basically comes with all of the cables in it. And you can see the connectors are black, but the cables are all white. Nice braided cabling going on here. So I know some cables have like the little clamps that people like to use, but I think like the braided cabling is what looks the most boss for me personally. And you can see here that, so this is the part that will plug in to your power supply, and then this detachable section is what would plug into your motherboard. And then you'll just line that up together when you're using a 24-pin motherboard versus just a 20-pin motherboard where you'd be pulling off that section. Although this, maybe I'm counting incorrectly here, but it's actually 10. Strange. And then like a bunch of SATA cables. SATA cable, this is like a, I don't even know what this one is. This is what manuals are for. Okay, so it looks like we have an ATX cable 24-pin. This is our 8-pin CPU cable. Oh, it's an 8-pin 6+2 SATA cable in here somewhere. Or maybe this is a SATA 4? No, this is 6, but only 4 of the pins are populated. Who knows? Only one we really care about is the GPU cable, which a lot of times the GPUs will come with those individually. But you can see the ones that are PCIe, so this is 6+2, which gives you 8. And then we will be needing multiple ones of those. Here's another CPU cable. More SATAs, and they don't bother braiding the SATA cables because those are typically run along the backside of your case, so no need to have those look fancy schmancy. And we'll just leave all of those in here. Looks like we do have a few PCIe, 1, 2, 3 PCIe cables, several SATA cables, 2 8-pin CPU cables, and an ATX 24-pin. So there we go. I think theoretically you could probably just like wrap this back around or something like that if you're not using all of those, but I think our motherboard does use all of those cables. So now for the big boy himself, this power supply is no stranger to girth. Big old Donkey Kong. Silent operation at low to moderate loads. In this mode, the fan will not spin. Like how they include that there, that way you're not like, especially when you first boot your PC and you're going to post, it's going to seem strange to you that it's off. I do like that they've rotated the lettering now, so the fan is intended to go down, and this will be sitting on my desk, and there are feet clearance. It gives about an inch of clearance. So this fan will be cycling the air up and down, up through here and then out through the back, and we'll be piping it in through the bottom of the case. So that'll be nice. You can get like RGB versions of these fans, of these power supplies from Corsair, and like the Thor power supply I know from ASUS as well has that, but we won't need that. I'd rather have the hot air piped out through the back of the case and up through the bottom, giving it some fresh air for the power supply. So, but fairly straightforward, very neatly organized box, I have to say. 5 points for that out of an ambiguous point system. And my eyes itch, so deal with that. Be Quiet includes cable ties, by the way. I don't know that I include this in my case review, but they do include these like Velcro cable ties, which are super helpful. I'll be using those soon. Until next time, though, friends, good luck out there. Have some fun. Keep on building. Bye for now.